such a proud moment for Mott Community College in the city of Flint to welcome our very own David Tarver back to this community in this manner. Now, how proud can one be to embrace one of our native sons who's doing such great things for us? David is a community servant with a heart that beats for spurring economic growth while kindling the entrepreneurial spirit in folks that you just saw tonight. I grew up in the same neighborhood as David, and I can honestly say that he epitomizes all that our elders asked of us. You see, back in those days, we were all overtly charged with doing something meaningful with our lives, not just for self, but for the greater good of our community. Give a rousing applause for the engineer, the entrepreneur, the philanthropist, the author, and my friend, David Tarver, who is the founder of the Urban Entrepreneurship Initiative. We're going to applaud him now and later, too. Let's hear it.
How y'all doing tonight? Checkbook, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. I don't know, how I can follow these folks who have been up here tonight. I mean, what do you think about this? I mean, one of the best things about being involved in this initiative and about teaching the class that I've been privileged to teach at the University of Michigan is being involved and kind of building this community of entrepreneurs. Most of these folks you've heard from tonight have spoken in my class, helped judge competitions in my class. Reggie helped me, formulate the class, and has been really a real partner in the things that we're trying to do. So I feel really blessed to be in the company of such talented people and to have this kind of turnout tonight for what we're trying to do here, because some people said that Flint wasn't ready for an entrepreneurship conference. But I think that this indicates that Flint is ready. And I think the thing that Flint is ready for, as a lot of people have alluded to tonight, is inclusive entrepreneurship. We're not going to move forward unless we move forward together. So I want to just acknowledge Lynetta, first of all. Lynetta is a force of nature here in Flint, and she is the one that has kept me involved here and kept me involved with Mott College, had me come back here and speak in 2013, I think it was, and she's why we're here today, because of her support for what we're doing. And Dr. Beverly came here recently, and Lynetta said, you got to meet the new president here at Mott. And Dr. Beverly is determined to take Mott to the next level. And I think that I'm so happy to support the efforts here, because as you can see, this is a tremendous resource in this community. I don't know how many of you, this place is great, but if you go across campus to the Regional Technology Center and the Fab Lab and all, I mean, this is a great resource that we can use in this community to move things forward. I want to thank all of our sponsors, and again, especially Mott Community College and University of Michigan Flint, School of Management and the Hagerman Center for Entrepreneurship, the University of Michigan Center for Entrepreneurship in Ann Arbor, and the University of Michigan Innovate Blue in Ann Arbor. Center for Entrepreneurship is kind of my home in Ann Arbor. They let me come there and teach every once in a while, and so it's been a really great adventure there. It's been great, and I'm only going to take a few minutes, because like I said, I can't really follow what these folks said, but it's been really good to be re-engaged with Flint these past few months. I feel like I live here now, and I get up in the morning and drive up here and pretty much spend all day up here. And some things in getting reacquainted I've found surprising, and other things have simply been reinforced. And one of the things that's been reinforced is that Flint's business model really has to change. When I was growing up here, Reggie and Karen and I, and a lot of you were growing up here in Flint, Flint's business model was very simple, and it was lucrative. Basically, we shipped cars out, and money came in. And as a result of that, Flint had the second highest per capita income in the country. And, you know, when I traveled around the country or around the world, and I hear things today about, you know, people saying, oh, your neighborhood is horrible, your cities are horrible, your people die, you get shot. You know, I remember when we grew up here, our education was great. And not just Reggie and Karen, but you go up and down the neighborhood, Lynetta, Raymond Davis. You could name practically everybody on every street, starting with my brother and sister, my next door neighbors, everybody. We had such success. There's Pamela Rouse, 6 in Lapeer. We had a great situation in this town, but it was because our parents had jobs. And this town is not going to come back until parents have jobs. And to me, that's got to be our #1 priority. So if you ask yourself, what is Flint's business model today? What is the business model? If you just look at the town as an entity, what's the business model? Lots of government payments, some philanthropy. You can't build a successful community on that. You've got to have jobs. You've got to have businesses that create jobs. And it's not going to be just startups, because it takes too long. Startups are great. We need startups. We need entrepreneurship. We also need to bring some established businesses here, right? I was so fascinated in reading this book, and we have the author of this book coming all the way from California tomorrow for the symposium. This book called Demolition Means Progress. But he talks about the origins of Flint as an automotive superpower, right? Flint didn't become an automotive town by accident. The folks here in town, the guy Whiting, I forget his first name, he brought some of these people to town, right? He attracted Durant to town. And then, I forget who it was that was over Buick, right? They wanted to take Buick down to Jackson. They took Buick to Jackson. And then folks in Flint got together and said, no, you can't go to Jackson. We're going to raise some money here, and you're going to come back to Flint. So it wasn't just a happenstance occurrence that this automobile industry happened in Flint. Why can't we do the same thing today? Why can't we get together and say, we want to employ people today, and we're going to bring businesses here that can employ people? So again, I think it's not just entrepreneurship in terms of startup. It needs to be entrepreneurship in terms of large established companies, because again, people want jobs. People don't just want to sit around. That's one of the things that, especially going around these last few days, sitting around at the MTA station a couple weeks ago, talking to people. We got some of the best pitches for this "Give Us What You Got" thing at the MTA station. I was frankly surprised. But people don't want to sit around. And it reminded me of one of my favorite philosophers, a famous Republican by the name of James Brown. James Brown used to say, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Open up the door, I'll get it myself. Do you hear me? Now, now. I don't want nobody. That's what James Brown said. And then there was another philosopher in the 60s that made quite an impression on me. Dr. Martin Luther King, of course. And I used to drive around when I was going to sales calls. I went to the King Museum in Atlanta, and they were selling this package of CDs of all of Dr. King's speeches. And I listened to speech after speech. And a lot of these were obscure speeches, right? But one of these speeches, he said something that really struck a chord in me. If you look on my Facebook page today, that's the saying that I say is like one of my favorite quotes. Dr. King said, "It is well to throw coins to a beggar, but we must question why there are so many beggars." And so what Dr. King was alluding to there, it's okay to get, we have to fix the current situation. We have to solve what's in front of us. But why do we have so many of these broken situations? Why are schools broken? Why are communities broken? Why can't we have jobs for people, right? So that says to me that we need a new business model. He was speaking to business model. Our business model is broken. So this is not just a situation in Flint. It's a situation in a lot of places. But Flint is ground zero. And Flint is ground zero largely because of the rapidity of the change that occurred. That these jobs are just, extracted from the community so rapidly. And the other thing that I wasn't going to get into this, but the other thing that I would say is that, to me, it's not an issue of globalization alone. Because I remember when you used to get in the car and you drive from Flint to Detroit. And you would leave the outskirts of Flint and you would see nothing. You see like pastures and green. Now you drive from Flint to Detroit, you see businesses all along 75, right? So what that says to me is that these businesses just moved, right? So, we've had a relocation of economic activity, and it's not due to just globalization, it's not due to automation, and we can change this if we want to change it, if we put policies in place. But, that's, kind of like Justine said, that's over my pay grade right now. So what we're doing here this week is, first of all, engaging the community because, again, we recognize tonight that we can't move forward without the community. And we have to have a community imperative behind whatever we do in economic development. It's not a matter of simply going out and taking some surveys and doing some community engagement once. It's an ongoing process. And tomorrow, as Reggie alluded to, we are talking about fishing. And so we are having a series of panel discussions, presentations, and other, we even have something in the afternoon called the Social Impact Sector Smackdown, where I think, where's George? Is George here? George still here? George Wilkinson is going to be our faith-based organization representative. So we're going to have somebody from a faith-based organization, somebody from a not-for-profit, somebody from a for-profit, from philanthropy. What's the other? What's the fifth? I'm like, cat from Texas. But anyway, these different people, I'm like, anyway, but these different people are going to argue out what's the best way to achieve social impact. Is it for-profit business? Is it raw capitalism? Is it faith-based? Is it not-for-profit? Is it philanthropy? So we're gonna hash that out in the afternoon because we have a lot of students there. Students gonna want to know how can all these millennial students, they want to change the world, and so how can they best do it? Part of it is what they're best suited to, but part of it is how have these different people had impact in their area. So Friday we're going to have a series of seminars that deal with the nuts and bolts of starting a business, establishing an e-commerce business, financing a business, branding and marketing yourself and your business, the kind of stuff that Eric is expert at. And so that's what we're going to do this week. But after this week, the work and the conversation must continue because this is just one step. Hopefully, this is one step in Flint's evolution toward a new prosperity and being, once again, a world-class city. So I thank all of you for coming tonight and being part of this. I thank all of you for your support. And before I leave, I just want to have everybody who is has been part of putting this thing together stand up. Alex, and who is there? Where are we at? Everybody stand up. I guess some of them out there in the hall. You know, this is no small endeavor to put this conference together every year, and I see Dr. Beverly in the background. Really appreciate you hosting us here and being so supportive of what we're doing. And I have to say about the mayor, I was up at the Mackinac Policy Conference for the first time in June and May, whatever it was, and I saw the mayor. We sat down and talked for about 40 minutes. And I didn't know how she was going to react to this whole thing, but she said right away, I'm in. We're going to do it, right? So she was definitely supportive. And so we appreciate the support from Flint, and hopefully we will see you guys around town a lot more. We've got a lot of ideas for things that we can do on an ongoing basis to make this stuff not just talk, but reality. All right, so thank you very much.